Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the Legends of Avallen Core Rulebook. If you haven't seen the other parts of this review, featuring this Celtic mythology inspired role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about character origins. These are the cultures, the populations that the characters belong to, but I am also going to talk about character growth. Let's start with the Pandra Clan. They are the largest clan in Avallen, known for their strong alliance with the Raxion Empire and affinity for technology. Their territory controls the rolling hills and arable meadows on the southwest of the island, where they worship the Everchild, valuing ambition, influence, and tricks. In the legend of the Wild Hunt, the Everchild used their guile to banish the fearsome giants, or Car, into the otherworld, giving the Pen-Car their name, which means Chief of Giants. These people usually wear trousers made of natural fibers, linen, hemp, or wool. They also tend to imitate some Raxian styles. Then we have the Panvade Clan. These are the most devout clan in Avallen, known for their strict customs and worship of all that is natural. Their territory is hidden deep within the canopies of the vast Glen-Coth forest, where they worship the Evermother, valuing piety, honor, and tradition. In the legend of the Wild Hunt, the Evermother used her magics to banish the great boars, or Aisgithirvim, giving the Panvade their name, which means Chief of Boars. These people wear colorful, well-fitted woven garments, so as not to have their clothes catch while traversing the forests. Next we have the Pen-Levi. The Pen-Levi are the most feared clan in Avallen, known for their vicious raids and ritual sacrifices. Their territory spreads out from the midland marshes within the eastern strait of the island, where they worship the Ever-Stranger, valuing ruthlessness, impulse, and death. In the legend of the Wild Hunt, the Ever-Stranger gave great sacrifices to banish the undead hordes of the Mukalevi into the other world, giving the Pen-Levi their name, which means Chief of Undead. A lack of natural resources and a humid environment means the Pen-Levi often go on scant clothing made of wool and leather, if at all. They wear dark colors to blend in with the swamp, and often paint their bodies with a combination of mud, clay, and blood to keep cool. Next we have the Pandrake. The Pandrake clan is the most renowned in Ataraxia, having led the coalition of clans that dealt a decisive defeat to the Raxians' advance north. If you haven't noticed yet, the Raxians are the fantasy romance of this setting. The Pandrake's territory sits atop, within, and beneath the Thames peaks around Mons Gorsed, where they worship the Everfather, valuing justice, community, and strength. In the legend of the Wild Hunt, the Everfather used his fighting prowess to banish the dragons, or Drake, into the otherworld, giving the Pandrake their name, which means Chief of Dragons. Due to the cold climate, the Pandrake layer and wear lots of wool, leather, and fur. They will dye their fur trim and often color their hair and beards with natural dyes. Then we have the Pen-Afank. The Pen-Afank is the most isolated in Avallen. Very little is known about them, except that the greatest bards make pilgrimages there for a festival of songs, poetry, and contests. Though the Raxians have so far failed to map them, the Pen-Afank territory is said to be a chain of smaller islands past the maze of the misty Sio Isles north of Avallen, where the sun never rises. There they worship the Ever-Elder, valuing stories, secrets, and service. In the legend of the Wild Hunt, the Ever-Elder uncovered ancient knowledge on the Afank, which are dreaded water demons, to banish them into the otherworld, giving the Pen-Afank their name, which means Chief of Sea Monsters. The Pen-Afank are not often seen outside their territory, but they are often distinguished by their unique half-face masks with intricate, colorful designs. Next we have the Raxion Empire, the most widespread sovereignty in this part of the known world, famed for their technology, prosperity, and diversity of peoples. Ataraxia's territory on Avallen is confined to the southeastern plains around the great river Tamesis, where they worship their twin empresses, valuing wealth, charity and devotion to the Empire. If not in military gear, Raxians will typically wear long tunics of a neutral color, either beige or white, with a colorful sash. But this is not all. There are lands beyond maps, not yet touched by Ataraxia, and home to a great many different cultures. Avallen has had occasional trade with peoples from far-off coasts well before the Empire came to their shores. But with the Raxians here, the world is growing ever smaller, and those from unheard-of places are becoming more common. People from elsewhere in the world often come to Avallen for the opportunities found in a burgeoning magical land at the edge of an empire. Now let's talk about character growth. Wondrous as it may be, Avallen is a dangerous place, home to warring factions, conniving fae, and otherworldly abominations known as the Phaedra. By completing challenging quests given to you by others or set by yourselves, you raise your character's level and learn new abilities to defend yourself, whether that may be through martial prowess or an understanding of magic. Whenever you finish a quest that is appropriate for your tier of play, successfully or otherwise, a player in your group must record the legend of what you accomplished using notes, pictures, stories, or songs. That way, you can recall your achievements after a few sessions when a non-player character asks of them. After every second quest you complete, raise your character level by 1. When you gain a level, you also learn the first or next ability of a profession or class ability school of your choice. Many levels also grant you bonus features. And after every first quest in a level, you raise an attribute rank by 1. On your character sheet, mark the attribute box next to your level as a reminder that you've completed the first quest that level. After the next quest, gain a new level, learn an ability, and uncheck that box. Once you reach level 2, you gain your first class. There are 4 classes, each with a different style of handling a conflict. There are 2 martial classes, the warrior and the reaver, and 2 magical classes, the mage and the mystic. Each of these classes gives your character access to 5 ability schools to learn from that are exclusive to and embody that class. Let's talk about legendary paths. Once you reach level 5, you will choose to follow a legendary path. Following a legendary path grants powerful abilities that will change the way you approach the game. However, you need to complete legendary trials to earn them, and we will talk about those in a future part of this review. When you gain a legendary ability, you do so instead of learning any other ability. Many legendary paths also grant you access to the martial or magic schools of a second class. Whenever you would learn a non-legendary ability, you may learn an ability from one of your second class's schools instead. Following a legendary path will see you becoming a mythical archetype from Ballic and Raxian folklore, influencing the way the people of Avallen see you. When it comes to tiers of play, there are 5 tiers: Apprentice, Adventurer, Veteran, Hero, and Legend. Your tier of play is determined by your level and increases after every 3 levels you earn. Advancing through these tiers increases the scope and difficulty of the quests you must complete to earn later levels. In Apprentice, you begin learning about the world, the game, and your character. When it comes to Adventurer, you resolve to be an adventurer and begin your character arc. We will talk about that in a future part. When it comes to Veteran, it is within this tier that you will choose a legendary path to follow and complete quests whose impact is most felt by larger communities, earning you both allies and enemies. Next, we have the Veteran tier. You will become more experienced with your legendary abilities and begin to wrestle with your internal character arc. When it comes to Hero, during this tier you gain access to the powerful 3rd tier abilities of your class schools, have the chance to change your character arc and complete quests that impact multiple regions at a time. Finally, you have Legend. This is the tier where you end your character arc, and your legend is fully realized as you complete quests that change the fate of all Avallen forever. And this concludes this part of the review. As you can see, the origins are quite varied. You will be able to create characters from a multitude of cultures and peoples. I only gave you a bit of information of each of the different cultures. You have information on male names, female names, and also some finer points concerning their background. When it comes to character growth, as you can see, you will take on more difficult and challenging adventures and quests as your character grows in power, in skills and knowledge. So that way your humble farmer will turn into a hero of legend. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. In the next part we are going to talk about professions. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending right through RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.